Hi there. So recently I made a video about going into the light, reincarnation trap, entities messing with us, and some people had questions. If I'm saying that we as human beings are so powerful, then why can Archons delete our memories, wipe our mind, and even put us into these bodies? Like why can they abduct our astral bodies and or just abduct us and dump us into this vessel like right here? So I'm not sure how long this video will be, but I should go just straight to the point. Um, it's a vast subject, but I should start from a place that we as beings lived for billions of years. And, souls can be really, really old. It depends, for you it might be first time here on Earth, or you might have incarnated 3 or 4 times already, and it's only for you to know, only you can dig up that information yourself. But right here, it doesn't end just with Earth. You've probably lived in tons of lifetimes in other realms, in other planets, and as you come here on Earth, you've been living for quite a while. So, as beings, we had all kinds of experiences, the positive ones, the bad ones, and we were doing all kinds of things. We were the good guys and bad guys, and even though in the multiverse there is no such thing as good and bad, there is no duality, unlike here on Earth. And some people still questioning, if we have this duality here on Earth, isn't this Earth school and all this stuff? And my answer is kind of the Earth is more of a, from my perspective, the Earth is more of a prison plane where, it's easy to capture beings like us because we're curious. We want to explore things, we want to always get better and find more information and learn. And at the same time, if we find beings that need help, we're always willing to do that. Most of us are. And if you dump a few beings over here, or you lie about hey, there are some people who needs rescuing, so why don't you come over here and help our beings? And yeah, you're willing to help, and you come over here, you had a mind wipe, you don't remember anything, you don't know who you are supposed to help to, and there you are, trapped again. You lose your memory. So the Earth is created in a way that is easy to trap beings like us. It's easy because we're curious, we have all of these ways to help and all of these ways to grow, and we just have a different lifestyle, unlike some other beings who are all into domination. For us, it's all about learning, getting better, playing around, and it's the whole thing is more like a game. So for us to get trapped here is easy, but at the same time it all depends from your awareness. If you are not aware of what happens after you die or some possibilities, then when you die the whole experience will be new. And same thing, even though I'm saying that these entities can capture us or, mind wipe us and stuff like that, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're supreme powerful and have all of these abilities. It also might mean that we, as beings, are just lurking or, doing something in the multiverse, and at some point we just, become, not super aware, or, we lose our guard and, we're just playing around, looking at, oh, look, there's that star, and you just, get lost and you do something. And it's the same as lying. Hey, some being come over here, they can dress up all nice, and you lose your super awareness, or you lose your perception, and now you're just having a conversation with a being that seems really nice, and they can tell you a nice story. They're you go into a car place to get a new car, and they're just selling you anything. You go into a store and everyone's trying to sell you all kinds of stuff, and for them, it's the most important part is to get your money. You as a person, not really. They don't really care about what you need or want. They don't really care if you're gonna use that stuff. As long as they get money from you, they're good. So it's the same stuff with Archons. They will tell you a nice story. They will lie to you. They will spin a story to get you interested, to get you emotionally affected, which is why there's this whole sales thing going on. If you want to sell something to people, tell a story, and it's all about selling emotions. It's all about hey, if you're gonna buy this, you're gonna feel like this, and everyone's vacations, you're gonna feel great, you're gonna rest, and you're this is all you need, and we're yeah, I want to have that feeling. And right there in the multiverse, we want to help others, we want to feel useful, we want to grow, we want to get better, and we're sold about this game on Earth, about getting better, finding information, learning. It's experience never before. It's more intense. You've never felt like this, and let's see if you can do this. And yeah, I can win this game. I can totally beat it. And you get you go and you didn't read the rules. You don't know what's going on for real. You just heard a nice story about it. So, hey, let's go to Africa, it's gonna be great, you can help animals. And then no one told you that, you were bitten by a mosquito and you get, catch a disease or something. There's all kinds of things that we don't know. So, as beings in the multiverse, we can explore and we live for billions of years. and at some point we are engaged in some activity that we lose our like guard, and entities today can come to us and talk to us, and for us it's like, oh, it's a normal conversation, yeah, I'm gonna be helpful. And once you get engaged and you are not questioning things, it's easy to lie to you and get you like over here on Earth, or like trap you. So for them to capture us is not a huge thing. Like, they don't need to be super powerful or anything. No, they're just playing a game that we are not aware of sometimes. It's the same as like your parents lying to you about like, hey, if you eat this, you will get this, and you eat it, and like they lie to you so that you would finish your meal, or like, read this book and you will get $10, and they're just trying to make you read or something, and like all kinds of things. And like so entities like Archons, they can just simply lie to us to get us engaged in stuff. They don't need all kinds of technologies and other things, even though they have that. And for that, again, like as beings, they will use like their technologies, but only when we don't have our guard on, because as beings, we're super powerful, and if we have our awareness, if we know what their intentions really are, we'll be aware of their game, and like they cannot fool us. So for them, the game is to catch us at the point when we don't have our guard on, when we're not aware of their real plans, when we're like engaged in something and we're not thinking like in the big picture. So for them, like, okay, let's target this being when they're thinking, when they're engaged in something, when they're busy, when they're not thinking about the real thing. So they get engaged in some fight or some incident or whatever, or you can be like in a little planet relaxing or whatever, and they come to you, they talk to you, and you get engaged, you're sold, and you come over here, and now all of a sudden you're trapped. So for that, like, Archons don't have to be super powerful, they don't have to be like all of these intimidating things that they can be. They're simply like a salesman. They come over to you and they will try to sell you a story and stuff like that, and this is easy way for them to get us. Even though they have technologies, even though like you can read books and find out more things about like how they can use their technology to literally freeze souls and like capture everyone. And it's more like, imagine like thousands or millions of beings captured in one place, frozen, and what they do is like they squish everyone into one and collide us. So like everyone, you, me, and everyone else would probably get into the one being and then get to same thinking, same kind of thoughts, same feeling states, and get collided. So now, as a pure being, you get mixed up, and then you get split, and now you're like done with whatever part of you was, and you're like just feeling crazy as can be. Like, so that also can happen. Like, I'm not saying this is like what happened for real, but there are like all kinds of possibilities of the ways they can mess with us, and for us to protect ourselves from that is to simply have awareness of how they work, their real intentions, why they want humans here on Earth, for example, why do they want to conquer us and dominate us, like the whole ability to get out of body. Some people will have like dreams. You can get out of body, you can be going out of body every night, but if you don't have the memory, how can you know that you get out? It's a thing. So these Archons and other entities, they can mess with our dreamscapes. You go to sleep at night and you're just trying to relax and you have some dreams, but then you have some crappy dreams. You have some like, a trigger dream. You have something negative, someone like your relatives die, or, you caught a disease or something negative happened, and so it seems like mundane, nothing important, but at the same time negative. It triggered you. You wake up with that irritated feeling state, like, oh, something's not wrong, or you have like the fear when you wake up. It's like something's not right. So these entities can come and like create a dreamscape. They will literally be close to you, or like have directed energy weapons, or like different things, and they can mess with your thoughts. It's like the whole thing with like possible 5G and how they can actually use it probably to like mess with our thoughts and like feeling states. Imagine like, okay, we have a technology right now, it seems like super cool, but like what if we put it like a few billion years forward? What entities have there, because like they live that long? Is it that simple or hard? It's like they can do that. They have advanced technology, and for us as beings, we create. They don't. We are godlike. We're godlike. So every thought you have can manifest. While they need to technology, they need time, they need to harvest materials and create something. I mean, like build or make. So that's one of the biggest things, and they can use what they have to mess with our thoughts, mess with our feeling states, and just try to limit us from getting out of body. Because when we're out of body, we're free. We can use our abilities, and like, okay, these are like probably the beings that will target me after like my body drops dead, and I can go and be free. And if they're the ones targeting me, then I'm gonna get them out. Like, and you literally unlock them, you uncreate them, you turn them into carrots or like watermelons or buses or like whatever you want. Like you can turn them into a chocolate bar and eat it. Like whatever you can imagine, you can do. So if you go out of body, you have abilities to like stop Archons, stop reptilians, stop any kind of entities that you don't like. If you have any entities that are messing with your relatives, with your friends, you can go out of body and like mess with them and get them out of the picture. And this is what they don't want happening, because if you have the ability and you can stop them, why would they want you to be free? Which is why like we don't have the memory when we like dream. Like most people have the suppressed, and the food affects it, what we eat, what we drink affects it, the whole like looking at the TV screen, monitors, like blue light on phone and all that kind of stuff. It will affect our memory and how we do with getting out of body. So if you stop using all that, or like at least at some point, like so that you would help yourself to do better and like to get better memory. But even then, entities will try to stop us. Like you get out of body, and they will try to scare you. They will try to turn something negative. Your first experience might be scary, and that scares people from going out. Like, or you hear all kinds of things like, if you go out, you will never come back, or like there's no way out, or like all kinds of scare tactics to stop people from going out. Why is it that? Like, if everyone on Earth started killing themselves and just got out, like what would they do? We're all free all of a sudden, and like, oh damn, our control didn't work. So they're working on religion, on laws, and like, oh, all these scare tactics. If you kill yourself, you're gonna go to hell. There's nothing left out of you. Like all of these scare tactics to stop us from doing something. If you use weed, you're gonna like go to jail. So we have more cops stopping the people who use or smoke weed instead of like real criminals. Okay. No weed is bad, but doing like crime is good because they don't get caught as often as those who use weed. Where's justice there? So like, I think like, the other side is pushing those scare tactics to just stop us from like being who we are and doing what we want to do. And if they can use that, and if we give in, if we live in fear, then they can control us. If we don't live in fear, if we like explore our abilities once we get out, even if the first experience scares you, you have to confront it and go over it and just like try again and like read about like, okay, this is what I can do, this is like things that I like, my abilities and stuff. And the more you find out, the more you explore, the more you find that you have the power and that they cannot stop you. And that's where it all starts. Like if you have the awareness of how they work, the whole mind wipe thing, you might go out of body and you will meet the entity that will try to mind wipe you. They will try to leave out of your memories. And what happens is that you have the awareness, you know how they work, like you start feeling, oh, this is their intention. So if you feel their intention, your single thought is like, no, stop. And literally, when I go out of body, these Archons and stuff, they're not that scary. When I go out, I can literally walk up to a reptilian and like, hey, please stop, like I'm tired of this. And literally, you can be diplomatic as can be if you want to. You don't need to kill anyone if it's not for you. You can simply have a talk. And we are equal. They respect you. They respect beings like us. Like, you can end up on a spaceship, on an underground basis, or like any kind of way, and simply having a conversation and you telling them like to stop or else, because they know you are powerful. If you know about your abilities and they know that you know about it, they ain't gonna try to do anything, because they know that eventually your word will be the last. If you tell them to stop or else, they're like, I'm gonna back off. This is where I can go, or I'm gonna die or something. So they don't try to risk it, because you are that powerful. And for you to meet these beings, they might try to be scary. They might try to scare you because like they don't know if you know about it yet. But once they see your true intentions, once they see what you can do for real, they will back off. And that's the amazing thing. And like, for us, we're pretty powerful. We can pretty much like feel like when entities or other beings have some intention like towards you, you can literally be in your room, and if someone's staring at you, you can feel it. You can feel like when someone's like just have it like a strong stare at you, and if you can pick it up, it's the same thing out there. And when you're in space, or like when you're in the multiverse exploring or doing something, and if anyone else has an intention, negative intention towards you, you can pick it up. And you will know when they try to mess with you, you will know when they target you. And if you know that, if you pick it up, you can have a thought about like, you're the creator. So any kind of thought you have will manifest things. You put a thought, you put an intention, like, okay, I don't want it to happen anymore, stop, and everything stops. And they cannot do anything. So that's my like little cover on that story. Hope it's valuable. Like, explore your abilities, share your thoughts on this whole subject. Because, again, like, this is just my subjective opinion. I might be completely wrong, but this is the reality I live in. So if you see anything valuable, if you want to pick it up, good. If not, just tell me your opinion. So, yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.